In this video, I'm going to give you 5 blues scale based licks. They're pretty tasty licks that you could use in lots of situations, but I'm also going to give you a situation that you can use them in, which is to use them over the jazz standard Autumn Leaves. This video is for tenor and for alto saxophone as well. I'm going to put the manuscript, the dots at the bottom of the screen with each one of these licks in for both tenor and for alto sax. But I'm also going to give you a PDF sheet, which is downloadable just here, and that's in the comments below, that's got the letter names on there as well, and an explanation of why these licks fit over Autumn Leaves. I'm also going to give you a fantastic backing track which has come from my friends at the Quartet app, and this is on Quartet 1 and it is the fabulous backing track Autumn Leaves. It's such a nice feel that they've got there. This even though it's an app, these are real instruments, piano, bass and drums. It just sounds absolutely fabulous. It sounds completely live. I've used these backing tracks at gigs. They're fabulous. They're really good, and you should definitely go out and buy Quartet. But if you haven't got an iPad or an iMac, I've made an MP3 with their permission, and you can download that in the description below as well. What more could I do? So you've got the manuscript, you've got the letter names on the PDF sheet, and you're going to get a backing track. And I'm going to walk you through these licks, play them all individually, and then show you how to apply them over this backing track. Something that you could do is you could take each one of these licks and you could transpose it into other keys. If you took one of these licks and transposed it into all 12 keys, that would be a really good thing for you to practice, because it just gets you fluent in all of the different key centers. And these licks are lovely and Sax Made Simple, so they sound delicious, but they're not super complicated in their structure, or super complex I should say, in their structure at all. They're really quite straightforward, and yet they sound gorgeous. Now, if you like content like this, could I ask you a huge favor? Please subscribe to the channel. That supports this channel and it puts it in front of it. It makes YouTube push these videos out in front of people that are searching for sax related stuff, so they can get the benefit too. I'd also really appreciate it if you went to my website, which is Sax Made Simple. I've just uploaded I should say, Careless Whisper for alto and tenor sax. That includes a walkthrough, a backing track, a sheet. You've got all of the lyrics there, and I walk you through the entire tune, the whole thing step by step, not just the lick but the entire tune. It's a really good course. Everybody who's bought it really likes it, and I've had some fabulous feedback, so do go and have a look at Careless Whisper on saxmadesimple.com, and there's also a whole bunch of other courses there that have had fabulous reviews. Really helped people a lot, and I really hope that'll help you. So let's dive in, and what we're going to do is we're going to have a look at that first #1 lick. Now, I'm going to demonstrate this on my alto saxophone. The reason that I do that, I love playing my tenor sax, but to be honest, when I'm sitting in front of a camera, the alto's just a little bit neater to hold, so that's why I tend to do things on the alto for YouTube. But this, like I said, I'm going to put the letter names down for tenor, and this sounds gorgeous on the tenor as well. So that first lick, now all of these licks are for alto. They're going to be in the key of E minor blues scale. So the blues scale would be this. Coming down from there. And that would be A minor for tenor saxophone. Now, the reason why that fits over the whole tune, and as you can see, now this is transposed for alto saxophone, and you can see there's a lot of chords there. And so a good question that you might be thinking is, how does the blues scale, why does it fit in over the entire form? And that's a really good question. And also, how do you know which blues scale to use? Well, the reason is that if you understand a bit about chords, and I've done loads of tutorials about chords. Again, if you go to my website, saxmadesimple.com, on the front page there's a search box. So if you're not sure, you can type in things like chords or 2-5-1s, and it will come up with everything that I've done. But can you see I've got a 2-5-1 in the key of G. and then that would make this C kind of the fourth mode. Don't worry if that's bothering you, but I've definitely got a 2-5-1 in G, and then here I've got a minor 2-5-1 in the key of E minor. Now the question is there any connection between G major, which is the big chord of the first 4 bars, and E minor, which is the big chord of the second 4 bars? When I say big chord, it's what everything is kind of moving towards, or it's in that kind of key center. And there is a relationship between G major and E minor, and the relationship is that E minor is G major's relative minor. Now because of that, because they've got shared notes, a blues scale just happens to have enough common notes for all of these chords to fit over everything like a glove. Now for tenor players, the whole tune is based in C major or A minor, and therefore you can use an A minor blues over that. So that's a really good top tip. If you know what the general key of the piece is, then you can work out to play a blues scale even over a major scale situation, and it does sound rather nice. So that's why the E minor for alto players works. And what I'm going to do is have a look at this first, the first of the 5 licks. So let's have a listen to that on its own. Do that again. Sounds really nice. Now if I play that over any part of this, it will sound lovely. And that will fit over the entire form. There's nowhere that won't fit really. So doesn't it sound nice? Now if I get comfortable with that, I could also do variations of it like this. So I'm just doing I'm doing mostly the same, but just little variations. So if you want to do that, you can. But for the purposes of this exercise, I'm just going to stick to the licks as written. And so let's have a look at lick number 2, and that would sound like this. And again, if I hit play at any point on this backing track, I think it sounds rather lovely, doesn't it? Really cool. So then let's have a look at lick number 3, and you can see we've got a 1.5 beat rest before we come in on that, and that would sound like this. And again, if I just hit play again, it doesn't really matter whereabouts I am in the tune. Yeah, sounds really lovely. And then lick number 4 would sound like this, and I've got a quaver rest before I come in. Again. And again, if I just hit play pretty much anywhere. Here it comes. A 1, a 2. A 1, 2, 3. Yeah, again, really nice and simple. And then the last lick couldn't be more straightforward. It really is the blues scale coming down. Look, here's the blues scale descending just on its own. And this lick is. So again, it's just the blues scale descending. Instead of stopping on the root on the way down, I stop on the next note in the sequence, which is the D. So it's just really playing around with the timing. By the way, if you like blues scales and you like this kind of teaching where you've got letter names and dots, then do go and have a look at the blues scale course that I've done, which is not expensive. It's hours and hours and hours of tuition. Anyway, I don't want you to think I'm hard selling you, but it's a really good course and people love it. So if I now put these blues licks together over Autumn Leaves, it's just going to sound lovely. So let's see if I can play all 5 licks. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to aim to play all 5 licks as they're written, in other words, dead straight. And then after that, I'll do them again, but maybe change the order or maybe just vary these ideas a little bit. See how that sounds. As you can see with this backing track, I've got 1, 2, 6, 7, 8 bar intro, so let's go with that. By the way, this backing track is the Miles Davis inspired version. It sounds really lovely, as you're going to hear in a moment, and you should definitely check out Miles Davis playing Autumn Leaves on YouTube with Cannonball Adderley on alto saxophone. It just sounds amazing. It's an iconic piece. Anyway, here we go. Yeah, so that was just playing them straight. Now I'm going to just hit the backing track pretty much wherever, and I'm going to play the lick either as many times as I feel is, sounds good. I might do some slight variations on each one of these licks and vary it slightly, but I'll try and make it as obvious which one I'm doing, and I'll still put it in the at the bottom of the screen. So let's have a look. So I'll go with number 1. So I think that sounds really nice, and learning licks is something that sax players do. It just adds language to your vocabulary if you've got these licks down. So invent your own licks or use these licks that I've given you, but I would definitely like work them and learn them and get them under your fingers, and you can vary them, you can transpose them into other keys, you could take it round in all 12 keys if you really wanted to develop yourself. And remember, keep it sax made simple. If you're going to make your own licks, they don't need to be super complex in order to sound good. What sounds really good in a solo like that is a clean and accurate and tidy delivery. So I really hope that that's been useful for you. Please let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. Please subscribe to the channel and sign up for my newsletter and share this video far and wide if you'd like to see more videos like this. Thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate your continued support with this channel, and I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next video. And remember, keep it sax made simple. Okay, take care. Bye bye.